अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे सुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदयादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, 9th chapter, verse number 17. We were reading the prayers of Dhruva Maharaj to Lord Vishnu, who appeared being pleased by the austerities of Dhruva. And then Dhruva recited these wonderful prayers to him. So in the last few verses he was describing the Swarup or the characteristic of the Lord. And in the last verse he spoke about is one of the very important characteristic that Lord is the substratum of opposing qualities. That qualities which seem to oppose each other, contradict each other, they find place in him. So just as we know that there is Brahma and Shiva, one is the creator, another is the destroyer, and both appear from him only. So this is what it means, that different personalities, qualities, they exist in him. Knowledge, ignorance, light, darkness, religion, irreligion, sin, piety, everything comes from him. So this verse is the last verse of his prayers. He says, Satyashisho hi bhagavan stavpada padmam ashi tathanubhajata purushartham murte apyeva marya bhagavan paripati dinan vashreva vatsakamanugraha katarosman. Says that indeed it is true that those people who serve you without any material desires, you give them the supreme result. Because you are Purusharth Murti, you are the personification of all goals of achievement by human beings. But what about those people who are not niskam, who have material desires? So he says, Api eva Mariya Bhagavan paripati dinam. But also the other people who are looking for material benefits, then you are also very eager to fulfill their desire. Just like a cow which has just given birth to a calf. Vasra Vatsakam. So Vasra means cow which has just delivered a baby. So if you have seen after the cow delivers the baby, how she is very much eager for the calf and licks the calf and doesn't leave it. So like that, Lord is very eager to bless his devotees even if they have material desires. That's why Lord is also called Bhakta Vatsala. Vatsa actually means a calf. So devotee is considered like a calf, Bhakta Vatsa. And he is very dear, affectionate towards the calf like a cow. Therefore he is called Bhakta Vatsala. So you never find any word like Yogi Vatsala or Jnani Vatsala. But Lord is not affectionate to yogis or jnanis or karma Vatsala. There is no word like this in Sanskrit. Although you can make one if you want, but nobody uses these words. So you will always find the word Bhakta Vatsala. So his affection to his devotees is known, that for his devotees he can do all kinds of things. Even he can give up his own promise or vow, as he did in case of Arjuna when he was driving his chariot. Before the battle began, Krishna took a vow that he will not fight, he will not raise any weapon in this battle, he will not fight. But once when Arjuna was fighting with Bhishma, and Arjuna's life was in danger. So then Krishna became so angry. He was just driving the chariot, but it was a very fierce battle. If you read the description in Mahabharata. So then he forgot that he is the driver, and he got so angry at Bhishma because he realized that Arjuna's life is in danger. So he jumped from the chariot and he took a broken wheel from a chariot and he ran to this old Bhishma to kill him. And Arjuna was trying to tell him, what are you doing? But he did not listen. So finally Arjuna ran behind him and he was holding him from his waist to stop him. Don't do this, you are breaking your word. So he did not listen to that. He kept on dragging, and Arjuna also along with him. Can you imagine his force? So he said, today I will finish this old fellow. So when this happened, of course, Bhishma, he dropped his bow and arrow and folded his hands, and he was just absorbing the beauty of Krishna. Running like this, his cloth has fallen down, his hairs were disheveled, and he was just angry with this wheel in his hand. So that is the meaning of Anugraha Katal, and how he is so eager to bless his devotee or so much concerned about his devotee. That's the meaning of Bhakta Vatsala. It's like a cow will protect the calf. Someone tries to do anything to the calf. Or the cow is very peaceful, even the most peaceful cow will hit you. So Lord is also like that. Although he has nothing to do with Bhishma, he was not enemy of Bhishma, but when he saw Arjuna's life in danger, then he was very angry. It's like a calf, or a cow protects a calf, like that. So that's what he is saying here. Hey Bhagavan, O Lord, ननु भो बालक सत्यमेव त्वं मत्स्वरूपं जानासि एव, किन्तु तव साम्प्रति निष्कामत्वे यथा पूर्व संकल्पमेव फलमहं दास्यामि गृहाणे. So earlier in his commentary, Lord, as if he had asked him that, do you know my form? Then if you know, then let me know what you know. So then Dhruva spoke previous 3 verses. So now the Lord is saying that it's definitely true that you know my swarupa, you know my form, you know my characteristic. But I know that at present you are niskam, you don't have material desires. But in the past you had desires and you started this meditation only with the desire. So now I am going to give you the result, you accept that. Tatra swasya agyatvam vivrunavan prema madhuryam asasanaha satya iti. So Dhruva, he is acting as if he does not know anything and hoping that he will get the experience of the sweetness of love of God. He prays. हे भगवन् तव पाद पद्मम एव आशीषो राज्यादेह सकाशात सत्य आसी परमार्थ फलम. Says that your lotus feet are the real blessings, not the kingdom which he wanted. Earlier he started to pray for kingdom. So now he says that actually your lotus feet are the real blessing. That is the supreme result. Kasya tatha tena prakarena tvameva purusharth murti iti evam niskamtaya anvanubhasta. For whom? For a person who is worshipping you without any material motives, because you are the Purusharth Murti. Evamapi dinanasman krit sakama bhajananapi paripati. And similarly, you also bless us, people like me who are very materialistic and worship you with the material intention. Niskam prapya pad padme kinchin madhurya dhanam. That you also give us the sweetness or taste of your lotus feet, which are only tasted by those people who do not desire anything material. Tatra hetu, what is the reason for that? He says, anugraha katara. Balatvadi apyam mad shuddha bhaktim na janati tadapi tatphalam swamadhuryam imam aswadayami iti buddhya. That you understand that I am a boy, I have no idea what is pure devotion, and with this intention you will also give me this love. Vashradhenur yatha vatsakam agyam swama bhajantam api dugdham payati. So he gives the example of cow. So the calf is not bothered about the cow. You see how impatient the cow is for the calf when she delivers the calf. And you see the calf is like a stupid guy there sitting and stands up and falls down. And if at all he makes any effort, he only looks for the treats to drink milk. That's all. He's not bothered about the cow. Then when he has drank enough milk, you tie him somewhere, he doesn't bother about the cow. It's only when he has to drink milk, then he will start mooing. So just as in the case of cow and calf is not like devoted to the cow as cow is devoted to the calf. So he says, in the same way, I am a little boy, I do not know what is pure devotion. But you understand. and therefore you protect your devotees like me. Vrikadibhyo rakshati cha. And just as the cow gives milk to the calf, because calf is only looking for milk, not for love or anything. So, but cow also protect the calf if there are some wolves. Previously cow used to go into the forest and wolves can attack, and she will also protect them. Tadvan mam swacharan bhakti madhuryam ashvadetu. So like that you also give me the taste of the sweetness of your pure love. Sakamatvadibhyo bhakti vignebhyo rakshatu cha. And please protect me from the obstacle to bhakti in the form of having other desires. So these desires for anything other than bhakti, desire for liberation, desire for some pleasure, these are all obstacles to love of God. Because love of God cannot stand with all these things. They all have very offensive smell. So love is very sensitive to smell of the offense. So these things are considered as obstacles, bhakti vigna. So if we want love of God, then we have to completely renounce any other desire, anyabhilasita suni. So this is the end of Dhruva's prayer. Maitreya Vacha, Maitreya said, Athabhishtuta evam vai satsankalpena dhimata Bhrityanurakto Bhagavan Pratinadya idam abravit. So when Dhruva, who is very intelligent and whose resolve was very firm, glorified the Lord in this way, then Lord, who was very much affectionate to his servant, he was very pleased and he spoke as follows. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Lord said, Vedaham te vivasitam hridi rajanya balaka tat prayachan bhadram te durapam api subrata. He said, O royal boy, O prince, you who have taken a very firm vow, I understand your desire very well, and therefore I will fulfill it, although it is very difficult for others to achieve it. Durapamapi tatprayachami. So Lord is going to give him the boon with which he started his tapasya, so that later on he does not have any problem thinking that because one may think why he is giving him this desire, because he is already so he wants to make sure that now his mood may be like this, but maybe in future he may repent. Sometimes it happens that you listen to a class and your mood changes, right? Then you go back home, you are with your wife, children, and your mood changes again. So in between, if you make some decision and take some action, later on you may repent. And why did I do this? Sometimes some people preach and in that mood they give some donation, write a check, right? Later on they go home and they say, what did I do? Why did I give such a big donation? Even if I have to give, could have given 1/4 of it. So the mind changes. So Lord is thinking that now He has seen me and He's thinking, wow, this is so great and I don't need anything else. And I will go away. Then He will think, what happened to my kingdom? So therefore He says that I understand your desire, so I will give you that. Rajanya Balaka iti tav aishwarya spriya. Therefore he is calling him as a prince. Because prince means that you want little opulence. Right? How can he be a prince without opulence? So therefore he says, Swabhaviki, he says, it is natural for you to have desire for opulence because you are the son of a king. Tadaham prayachani, that I will give you. Iti yukte tarhi sva premanam na dasyasi iti katar mukham tam asvasayati bhadramte. So when he spoke like this, Rajanya Balaka tat prayachami, then Dhruva, his face became pale. He said, what is this? I lost this opportunity, I am not going to get love. So he says, oh, that means you are not going to give me your love. So he says, don't worry, Bhadramte. Let there be auspiciousness for you. So he says, that also you will get. Ma chinte premanam api prayachami iti api karat. So bhatram te durapam api suvrata. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is commenting on this word api, means also. So he says that don't worry, I will give that also to you. So you will get both. Nanneiradhishtitam bhadra yad bhajishnu dhruvakshiti yatra graha rakshataranam jyotisam chakramahitam. I am going to give you that place which has not been attained by anyone else, which is very effulgent and which is permanent. So that's why that place is called Dhruva. This pole star you see in the north, this is in Sanskrit it is called Dhruva. The name of this star itself is Dhruva, which is the name of this boy. So this is a fixed star, always in the north. So from this star you understand where is the north side. And every other thing is just rotating around it. It says all the planets, stars, etc. Jyotisam Chakramahitam, they go around it. How they go around it? Medhyam go chakravat sthasnu parastat kalpavasinam dharmogni kashyapa shukro muniyo yevanokashaha charanti dakshini kritya bhramanto yat satarakaha. So he said, just like the bulls go around the pole, now we have machines to thresh grains. In the olden days there were no machines. So how they were taking the grain out of wheat? So they put this wheat plant and the bulls walk on it. So by their feet the grains get crushed, come out from the chaff, and then you have to separate it by the use of wind. So what they do, they make a pole in between and they spread this wheat plant all around. And then they tie, the bulls are tied on their neck one after another, and then the last one is tied to this pole. So they all go around like this. In our childhood we used to do that. So I remember this. In future nobody will even understand what does it mean Medha. So that thing is called Medhi. In Hindi also we call it Medhi. In Sanskrit also Medhi. And Go Chakravat. So that thing is fixed. So that is like the pole star. The pole. That's why it is called pole. Because it is the fixed one. And then these bulls, they are like the other Ursa major and minor and all these. In Sanskrit they are called Saptarishi, the 7 sages. There are 7 stars. You have seen? They call it Ursa major. So there are 7 of them. They are actually 7 sages, son of Brahma. Each one has 1 planet, 1 star. And if they are all going around pole star. So therefore he says that even the sages, Munayo, Vanotasa, and Dharma, Agni, Kashyap, all these great people, they have their own separate place. They all are circumambulating Dhruva. So he says, this is what I am going to give you. Charanti Dakshini Kritya Brahmantaya Sakal. So just like you make parikrama, tomorrow you are going to do parikrama of Vrindavan. So when you do parikrama, it is always done in a way that the object around which you go around is always on your right side. So that means you go clockwise. When you walk, this is always on the right. So that's why it is called also Pradakshina. The word is used, Dakshini Kritya. So Pradakshina means you keep it to your Dakshin right hand, not the other way around. So that is a mark of respect. So that means Dhruva is being respected by all these great sages. त्वया पूर्वं यथा प्रार्थितं पदं त्रिभुवनोत्कृष्टं जिगीषो साधु वर्तमे ब्रूहि अस्मत्पितृभिर्ब्रह्मन् अन्यैर् अनधिष्ठितं इति तदिदं स्थानं गृह्णामि. So he says that what you have desired earlier, because when Dhruva had met Narada 6 months ago, then he had asked him that, hey Sadhu, you please tell me that process by which I can attain a place which my father, grandfather, great-grandfather, none of them have. How can I attain the supreme topmost place in this universe? So he says, this was your desire, so now I am fulfilling your desire. You have that. Nanyairiti, and no one else has ever attained it. Dhruva nitya kshitir nivaso yatra, where your residence is permanent. After going there, then you don't die anymore. You remain there permanently. Tat ahitam arpitam dhanya akramanaya, so I am offering that to you. Dhanya akramanaya brahmyamananam pasunam bandhana stambho medhi. So medhi is this wooden pole to which the animals are tied and they go around it to remove the grains. Yasyam balivardha samuhavat avantar kalpvasinam parastan mahakalpa paryantam sthasma. So all these other planets, they go around it and your place is fixed. Sthasma means it is stable. Tato mahapralaya sati dhruvasya mahavaikuntha arohana miti kechit. So now there are 2 opinions about it. One is that when there is Mahapralaya, when there is a complete annihilation, everything is destroyed, then what happens to Dhruva? So he says at that time this is also destroyed and then Dhruva will go to Vaikuntha, to the abode of Lord Vishnu. But Mahapralaya will come after a very, very long period of time. So till then he stays there. That is one opinion. But there is another one. ब्रह्मांड मध्यवर्तित्वेपि श्वेतद्वीप मथुरा द्वारकादीनामेव ध्रुवलोकस्यपि सुदुर्लभम यत् परमं पदम हरेरिति ततो गन्तासि मत्स्थानमिति आत्स्थ जगतां वन्दे तद् विष्णु परमं पदमिति ध्रुवस्य वैकुण्ठपद अधिरोहणम् इत्यादि प्रमाणेभ्यो भगवल्लोकत्वेन नित्यत्वात्. Other opinion is that this Dhruva planet is a permanent place. It is not destroyed when the universe is destroyed. When the universe is destroyed, then Vrindavan, Ayodhya, these places are also not destroyed. This what we are seeing is the external part of it. This external will be destroyed, but it has an internal part that remains permanent. So like that, Dhruva planet is also permanent, because later on these statements will be made that people will come, the associates of Lord Vishnu will come to take Dhruva, and they will say that you go to the place of Lord Vishnu, which is the supreme place. So that means this Dhruva planet is actually the place of Lord Vishnu. It's like Vrindavan is a place of Lord Krishna. So although we don't see the spiritual place here with our material eyes, but that place is existing here only. And many people have had vision of that in the past, because they are so qualified and devoted to the Lord. So then it is said that Vrindavan is also not destroyed. So in the same way, Dhruva planet, the pole star, will also not be destroyed. And this is known from this various statements which come in Bhagavatam only. So therefore, it continues even after the annihilation. So he says, prasthite tu vanam pitra dattva gandharma sanshayah षट्त्रिंशद् वर्ष सहस्रं rakshitavyahitendriyah. Says that when your father will go to the forest, he will retire, he will take retirement. In India also there was this custom of retirement. Now the age of retirement is 60, 65, 67.
Usually 67 for ladies.
Previously in India the retirement age was 50. Right? At 50 they retired. Now, now because there is no sannyas, so the retirement age has been increased from 50 to 70, 65. In future they will increase it to up to 70. So in the past in India, people used to retire after 50, 55. Then you relax, study Shastra, meditate, do your asana pranayam, sing bhajan, no problems. It's nice. Right? How nice it was.
This past tense. This past tense. This is past.
Yeah, this was in the past.
Not
Not,
possible.
not possible now. Now you have to work 2 jobs.
Until 95.
So it says that when your father will retire, only thing is that after retiring they were not living in the house. They will go and live in the forest. So that's the meaning of Vanprastha. Vanprastha means retired life. So Vanam Dattva Gam Dharma Sansara. He says he will handle all the responsibility of kingdom to you and he will retire to forest. Then you will rule the earth for 36,000 years. No elections and no revolution against him. Can you imagine? This boy is going to rule for 36,000 years. And Avyahitendriya says that not that he becomes old when he's 90 and then he's just going for Sirodhara all the time. And Abhyanga. No, he will remain youthful. For 36,000 years he remained young. And as a young fellow he left and went to Pole Star in the same body. The plane came with the aliens, 2 aliens came and they asked him that he please jump on this planet. Like these days there are many times stories that sometimes some people get kidnapped in America. By the aliens. You have read this story?
Canada. I just read it somehow today on the internet. Very interesting story I found out. That I'll tell you later.
Previously they used to take only qualified people like Dhruva, Yudhishthira Maharaj. Some very rare cases they were taken by the aliens. Now the rules have been relaxed. Now they are taking many people from America and Canada. They don't come to India anymore. So before they were coming to India, aliens. So Dhruva was young, and the thing is that they don't come back. These aliens take for some time and then leave them back. Terrible story. So these guys never came back. So he went in the same body. This will be described later on. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti says that Etaccha Rajya Bhoganantaram Bhavishyati Ityah Prastita. So he says this will have happen after you have enjoyed your kingdom for a long time. Dhruva is not going immediately to this high place. There is no first you be here and let everybody know who are you. Because otherwise either you go to some place and come back and tell to people, then there is fun. Isn't it? Suppose you go to moon and you never come back. Would you like to do that? How many people would like to go to moon and not come back? Nobody. No, you want to go to moon and come back and then tell for the rest of your life. Everywhere you should be interviewed. They should invite you to the clubs and speak about your experience. Then it is fun. If you simply go and not come back, what is the fun? That is useless. So if you have to come to India and not go back to America and talk about it, what is the fun? Fun is when you go and tell that how the dogs were. Sital Chaya. And one day this dog jumped and caught me. Sorry. And then they'll say, what? Sorry? What is sorry? So then you have to show them photographs. So he says that you also stay here and all the time people will come and give respect to you that Dhruva is going there, Dhruva will go there, he saw Lord, he saw Lord. If he goes just immediately, then nobody talks about it. So for 36,000 years, so many times these numbers in India, this is numerology like 18, 27, 36. Right? So this all means 9 figure. 8 plus 1, 9, 2 plus 7, 9, 3 plus 6, 9. Means complete. It's a symbol of completeness. So tubhyam gam prithvim dattva vanam prasthite iti bhavekta rakshita gam rakshati. So then your father will go and you will protect the earth for 36,000 years. And then Tvad bhratriyuttame naste mrigayayam tu tanmanaha anveshanti vanam mata davagnim sa pravekshati. So what will happen to your brother? Because your brother is also there. So he says that your brother, he will go to forest for hunting and there he will die. And then his mother,
Is this the half brother that
yes,
father
the one who was sitting in the lap, and the mother of that brother who said he cannot sit, what will happen to her? She will go searching for this boy, her son, and she will be burnt in the forest fire.
Such
So
good
the-
karma.
This is the karma of committing offense. They both will meet their end like this. So he says, Mad bhakte tvai samatrike apradhinya surucheryat bhavishyati tashyam. So Lord himself is predicting this. He says, you are my devotee. So now listen what will happen to this woman and her son who have offended you, my devotee. So both will be killed. So this will come later on.
To the king?
Hmm?
To the king?
What king?
I mean the father.
King goes to the forest and lives there eating dry leaves. King is spared because he was not directly instrumental. It was Suruchi mainly. So इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञहृदयं यज्ञै पुष्कलदक्षिणैः भक्त्वा च हि आशीषः सत्यान्ते मां संस्मरिष्यसि. And as far as you are concerned, he says that you will always worship me with sacrifices and you will give big charities, donations in the sacrifice. And after remaining here on earth and having the blessings of people, and at the end you will remember me. So then finally he will think of the Lord and decide to go. So loke yasasya bhavishyati itya. So he said that you will also become very famous in the world. And tato gantasi mat sthanam sarva loka namaskritam uprishthad rishibhyastvam yato navartate. Then you will go to my abode, which is respected by all. Residents of all the planets, they respect that place, and it is even higher than the planets of the sages. This 7 sages, the Ursa Major. And having gone there, then you will not come back again. Means you will become liberated. There is no question of Dhruva taking birth again. So yato navartate iti nityatvam vyanjitam. So you don't come back from there. This indicates that this place is permanent and it is not destroyed even during the complete annihilation. So after saying this, then Lord, he leaves Maitreya, describes Maitreya Vacha iti archita sa bhagwan atidishyatmanah padam balasya pashyato dhame svam magada garudadhvajaha. So in this way, when he has given this boon of his own abode to Dhruva, and he was worshipped by Dhruva, then when this boy was looking at him, then he left for his own abode. So he came like on a helicopter, and then helicopter can be stable in the sky, and from there he was looking, blessed him, and so did not come down on earth. So he went to his abode. He was riding on Garuda. You know Garuda Airlines? You know? This airline of Indonesia.
Yeah.
So this Lord came in the Garuda. It's from where they got the name. Because Lord's aeroplane is called Garuda. So he came with his flight, blessed him, and then he left. Sopi sankalpajam Vishnu padasevopasaditam prapya sankalpa nirvanam nati prito bhagat puram. So now what happened into the mind of Dhruva when he leaves? So he says that he went to his own city now, but he was not very happy. Nati prito. Although his sankalpa came to an end, because he came with the sankalpa, with the resolve that he will get a position higher than anyone else. So he got that. Sopi sankalpajam Vishnu padasevopasaditam. He got that by the service of Lord Vishnu's feet. And then he went to his city, his kingdom, capital. But he says Nati Prita. He is not very happy. Sankalpasya nirvanam samaptir yasmat tatpadamiti purvaneva asana. So his resolve was fulfilled because he attained that position. So now the question is that why he was not very happy. So this is the question asked by Vidura. Vidura uvacha Sudurlabham yat paramam padam harer maya vinastat charnarjana archanarjitam labdhvapya siddharthamivaika janmana katham samatmanam manyatarthavit. So he says that how is that he attained such a rare position, Sudurlabha. It's not that you can go to Dhruva, it's like that. Now they are able to go up to Mars, right? Mars, Jupiter. The latest is Jupiter they have reached, but they will never reach pole star with all their rockets. And even reaching Jupiter is not easy, very difficult. So therefore going to pole star is even more difficult. Sudurla, very, very rare. Supreme planet, supreme position. Harer Maya Vinas Tat Charnar Archana Architam, which he attained by the worship of the feet of Lord Hari, who is very gracious. So Labdhvapi Asiddharthamiva Eka Janmana, and he attained this in one life. To achieve such things like this, you may have to take few births. So in one life, and that also just in 6 months. So Katham Swamatmanam Anyatarthavit. Then why he felt unhappy as if he has not achieved success in his life? See the question raised by Vidura. So Nati Prita iti Srutva Prichati Sudurlabhamiti Mayavina Kripalo Arthavidi Vigyapi. So after he heard that he was not happy, then he raises this question and asks. Maitra Uvacha. Maitreya said, Matuhu sapatnya vagabanair hridi vidhastutam smaran nechan mukti pater muktim tasmatam upeyuvan. So he said that because his heart was pierced by the sharp arrows of his stepmother, and therefore while remembering them, he did not ask for mukti from the Lord who is the master of mukti or liberation, and therefore he was lamenting. So it looks like when Lord appeared, he still remembered the words of his stepmother. That how his stepmother was saying that you have to take birth from my womb. And probably he was thinking, now I will show her who I am. And when you are in this mood of revenge, then you forget. So he forgot that Lord is here and I am praying to him, let me pray for liberation. He didn't pray. So Lord said, okay, I will give you. And when he left, he says, I know your heart. Because Dhruva actually did not ask for anything. He says, I know why you started this. So I bless you. And then he left. So now he is feeling like, what is this? What happened? Now the only problem is the word mukti here, although the word mukti means liberation, but here mukti means bhakti. Because mukti he got anyway. It says muktim bhakti mat parshadakti. Mukti means to become an associate of the Lord, to become a companion of the Lord. Because he quotes a verse from Padmottar Khanda. Vishnoranucharatvam hi moksam mahurmanishinaha. The learned scholar, they say that to become a servant of Lord Vishnu, that is actually real liberation. Iti Padmottar Khanda. This is from Uttarakhanda of Padma Purana. Saijyam tu na vyakhyen. It should not be explained that mukti here means this impersonal liberation. Why? Because he himself says, Ya nivritis tanu bhritam tavapad karmat dhyanat bhavajjan katha shravane navasyat. That the happiness which people get from meditating on you, Lord, that is not to be compared with impersonal liberation. So because of his prayers like this, we cannot say that mukti here means that kind of liberation. Nanu nachaditi na sangachate bhaktim muhu prabhatam iti tadvakyena bhaktereva tadichha vishyatva avgatehi. So now you can say that, why you say that he did not desire bhakti? You can say that he did not desire bhakti or he did not ask for bhakti. Because in the one of the prayers it says bhakti muhu pravatam tvai me prasango bhuyad ananta mehetam amala ashanam, that let me have bhakti for you and association of your devotees who are very pure in their heart. So how you say like this? It's very clear. So he says that's true what you are saying, but here the word is atra smaraniti vartman nirdeshat matri sapatni iva vag baan vyatha smaran dasayam eva nechat atas tadeva madhuvane agatya mat pitradi durlabh parmochya pad prapti kamo bhagvantam bhajishye iti sankalpya tapaschakara. So this smaran, which refers that he remembered the words of his stepmother, they are words when he came to Madhuvan for the first time. And at that time he remembered those words of his mother, and at that time he made a resolve that I want a place higher than anybody in my dynasty. And with this he worshipped the Lord, and that's why he got this position. भगवत साक्षात दर्शन समय तो यो अंत प्रविश्यति तदुक्ते तदीय सर्वेन्द्रियाणां भगवद आकारत्वात् कुतः सुरोचेर वागबाण स्मरणम. But when he saw the Lord and he prayed to the Lord, then there was no question that he was remembering the words of his stepmother. At that time he did not remember, because his very first prayer was Yo anta pravishyamam vachamimam prasuptam samjiyati, that I bow down to the Lord who has entered in me and waking up my consciousness and making me speak like this. So that means all his senses at that time became divine. There were no more material mind, material senses functioning. So there is no question. And Vedaham te vavasitam iti Bhagavad Vakyam. Lord also said that I know what was your desire. That means Lord is fulfilling his past desire. He is not saying what is your desire. Now he is desiring bhakti. But he is saying Vedaham te vyavasitam. Means what you had desired. He is not saying vyavasam. What are you desiring now? ते भगवद वाक्येन स्मृत पूर्व स्वीय संकल्पो मत सकामत्व लक्षण व्यभिचार प्रभुर्मय जानाति इति जात अपत्रपोपि अन्वतप्यथान्तं. So because Lord says that I understand what you desired, and Dhruva is remembering these words of the Lord, that actually Lord, he has understood that I started this bhakti with material desire, and therefore he is feeling shy now, ashamed on himself that why did I do that? And it is with that mood that he is not happy. That just look at me, and Lord also knows this. So he says, Hanta Hanta Durbuddhi Raham Katham Evam Sankalpam Karum. Says that look at me, how stupid I am, that I made such a resolve, that I am worshipping the Supreme Person just for some little post. So I am not very intelligent. Bhakti muhu parvahatam iti sampratiki bhakti prarthana me mat prabhu mat kaptam eva janati sma. And now I am praying that let me have your devotion, let me have love for you. So Lord will think that just look at this boy, how cheater he is. He started this whole thing because he wanted a position. Now when I am standing in front of him, he is saying, please give me your bhakti. So he is playing trick. So Dhruva is thinking that Lord has understood it like this, and therefore he is repenting and considering himself as useless. Atas tadanurupam kimapi spashtam navochat. And therefore Lord did not say anything clearly about bhakti part. He said that I will give you what you desired and you will rule for 36,000 years, your brother is going to die, your stepmother will die, your father will take sannyas or will retire and you will become famous only. But he did not say one word about that you will have my bhakti. So with that, Dhruva is thinking that okay, he says that I know your heart. He understood that I started all this austerities for a high post, and now I am saying please give me bhakti. So Lord is thinking, don't try to trick me. I know what is inside you. So because many times you go to a person, you have something you want to ask and you don't ask for it. Externally you say, someone comes by, I just came to see you. But inside you know that there is something, and the other person also understands that why he has come. So because he understands and he is a nice person, so he says, oh, you want this? And he says, yeah. With a big voice. So he said, oh, no, don't worry, I can take this. So like that he said, I know your heart, don't worry, you don't have to say it. Because Dhruva did not ask for it. When Lord came, he prayed, he went around, beating around the bush. He didn't ask for it. So what did Lord do? He said, I know your heart, don't have to say anything. So he gave. But now Dhruva is thinking that just see how Lord is so compassionate. He understood my heart, he gave me, but I am so stupid that I started this whole meditation for such an insignificant thing. That's why he was not happy. Kintu purva sankalpa anurupameva varam dadau. So he says that he has given me this boon according to my previous resolve. Tad bhratri uttame nashte ityadina puratan Matsaryamapi mam smari. And he says, not only this, he reminded me my envy towards my stepbrother. And therefore he said, your brother will die. That is why he has to say this. That means he is still reading my past mind, that you are actually angry at your stepmother, you are angry at your brother, you are angry at your father. So all these three will be removed. So here also you will be free from any obstruction. Otherwise tomorrow this brother can go and attack you, get a big army and start fighting with you. So he says, no. So he says that, look, Lord is reading my mind. And didn't say anything about when I said, I want your bhakti, I want your bhakti. About this he didn't speak one word. So mam smarya mase ityevam tasya lajja anutap danya nirveda tadukta sloka shatke drashtavi. So he says that Dhruva is going to speak 6 verses now after this. So he says that in these 6 verses you will see his feeling of shame, lamentation, humility and dispassion. Because all this will happen. Because he is realizing what mistake he has done. So in this mood he is going to speak. Of course there is no one to hear him. He is only walking from the forest. Now walking from Mathura to maybe going to Delhi. There was the capital. So on the way he is thinking these 6 slokas. So that we will read tomorrow.
So this Dhruva, is he still in control? I mean, 36,000 years, he's probably still...
No, those 36,000 years are over.
But he's still the pole star.
But he is in pole star. He ruled 36,000 here on earth. And after that he went to pole star.
So he never went to stay with the Lord or to... He has bhakti for the Lord there.
This is a Vaikuntha planet.
Within the material creation.
Manifest in the material world.
And about this aparada, they say that this aparada is very heavy and they all die, and even the mother died because of that aparada to this small boy.
So this 4th canto is very important for aparadha. Earlier we saw the story of Daksha, and now we have the story of Dhruva.
It's also the intention also, no? Which is very stressed out. Is how to say, evidenciated. When you make something
Emphasized.
emphasized, is it also the intention of a person who's very important for the result. And he will be like completely anything.
I thought it was interesting in the story of Daksha and the way that Sita dies and then Sati dies, and then what we know about her reincarnation. Does the story later go on to talk about Dhruva's stepmother and half-brother and...
They are not important.
Not important.
Sati is important. Sati is wife of Shiva. But Uttama, they are out of the play. They came on the stage.
idea that he went, he ruled here for some years, and then he went to this, Dubaloka, with the same, he didn't change his
Same body.
body, exactly. I mean that his body was already spiritual here.
Bodies will be transformed when he leaves.
Okay.
But, it's like when you go to rocket, you enter into a rocket, you have to put on a special dress, right? Astronomers, what they call astronauts. Astronauts have a special dress, then only they enter into the rocket. So Dhruva also, when he will enter into the rocket, his body itself will change, not the dress. So he can tolerate the low pressure, cold, all these things. Change in gravitation. You have a suitable body. Because science cannot change the body, they change only the dress.
So he eventually gets bhakti though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a devotee.